Welcome back to the latest series on YouTube. The series where we watch ghosts harass humans. It's very fun. It's actually pretty fun.
Okay.
Admittedly, it can be a bit scary, but low-key is kind of funny. Let's check it out.
On a Thursday afternoon, a mother and daughter hurry over to their apartment as quickly as possible after encountering someone strange.
Someone chasing them?
They record the stranger on camera, but according to the mother, this wasn't the only strange thing recorded.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm looking at this ring camera footage, and I don't understand how I didn't see this, because this is ridiculous.
At the same time of this incident, this was captured. Watch closely.
I just called the police. Get out front of my door.
That dude's not on his meds. That dude is absolutely not on his meds. He's on other meds. Oh boy. Oh. Wait.
This is the last time I'm gonna tell you. Get out front of my door right now. The police on the way.
Wait.
Go.
How did that door open? Alright, that dude's really gotta take a poop. Let's be honest here. Not only does that guy need to find some real medication, but he also needs to find himself a toilet. I think he just soiled himself. But it's that time of the video that we gotta go and do some detective work. Now, this ain't my first rodeo. Okay, we've watched quite a few of these, and we've busted some of them, and some of them actually we've concluded were real. So far, admittedly, this feels pretty real. I love watching ring cams, and this isn't just any ring cam, because there's proof that it is ring cam footage, because we saw her actually go into the ring cam app and scroll through the ring cam footage, and so it's proof like this actually is a real ring cam, which doesn't necessarily mean that everything that we see is real, but it's at least proof that this video is not edited. In my opinion, I think it's good enough proof. So far, I think it's clean. And if you guys see anything or come up with any ideas of how something is real or why something is fake, definitely let me know, because I certainly could miss some stuff.
Now, during this recording, Mom had no idea that this happened. The door to apartment 23 had swung open on its own.
Is anyone in there, though? Do we see any movement, any hands? It's dark. I don't see anyone, but I mean, someone could be behind the door, you know? Unless there's a wall there. I don't know.
It stayed open for more than a few seconds before closing. However, this isn't the reason why Jasmine, the mother, is freaked out by this. Just days after this happened, Jasmine records a video and points out something that makes this whole encounter even creepier.
In the 3 years that I've lived here, I have never seen this door come open. Ever.
Okay, that's weird.
You can't.
It looks like no one lives there either, because a little bit more detective work, as you can see underneath the doorknob, is that just a hole that goes like into the apartment? Like if someone lived there, there's no way that they would have a hole there. There's no way. And so if nobody lives there and the door is locked, how could it possibly have opened? I mean, it makes sense that it's locked now if someone lives there, but if no one does live there, and she hasn't seen anyone ever use it in 3 years. I've heard ghosts can open doors before, but not locked doors. I've never seen a ghost open a locked door.
Yo, you saw the door just came open. Who opened the door?
Is that a hole? It is a hole. Whoa.
Look at that.
Okay.
Like pitch black. Like, make it make sense. Like, how? How? I don't know. It don't make sense.
I thought something about to pop up from there. That being a hole actually does make it more weird in my opinion, because now I actually do believe that nobody lives there. There's just no way someone lives there with a hole in their door. There's no way. Things are not adding up, bro. Things are not adding up at all.
If the door has remained locked for years, then just how exactly did it come open? She has no idea, but the further she looks into this, the more creeped out she becomes.
Bro, that guy might be trying to solve the hardest math equation of all time. Look at like how much he's holding his head. Square root of b over the 4th power times and multiplied and divided all by the same time by the log of 16 divided by 4 is pi. Maybe he's secretly a genius and he's the next Albert Einstein.
Just look, watch this. The door comes open.
Can't take this serious.
There's nobody there.
Now, although
That
this
is
whole
pretty
occurrence
weird.
is pretty strange, it's what happens next that's by far the most unsettling. This is where things start to get pretty weird, because after reaching out to property management and getting someone to open up this door, this happens.
Okay, y'all, so property management sent somebody up to come take a look, so I'm gonna let him do what he do, and I'm gonna stay back here.
Side note, it is apartment number 23, and I just have to shout out Michael Jordan. Anyway. Oh, they're going in. Okay.
You say the light works? Y'all, he said the light works. Oh,
wait.
Lord.
This feels very legit. A lot of these...
What is that? These are
That's a bunch of children's shoes?
What the hell is going on? Y'all see all these little kids? They have put kids' shoes up
Call the
in there.
police. This is absolute immediately call the police. Nah, this actually gives me like the chills. This is creepy. Like this could be somebody taking children and collecting their shoes after he's done doing, I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything. I don't know. I want to stop thinking about it actually. Nah, this is weird. This is actually very weird. I don't like this at all. I really don't like this. And the reason why I'm saying that it feels even more legit is because she got someone who works there involved. She got like the, I don't know what they're called, but like the janitor of the apartment complex to come through and open the door. And so in a lot of these videos, it'll be filmed like within their own house, and so they can do kind of manipulate whatever they want to manipulate. But in this case, like getting a third party involved in the investigation, it makes it feel so real. And I know it sounds silly, but she somehow has access to getting in there as well, and she put the shoes in there. I don't know, she does have a daughter, but the only reason she would do that is to film this video and go viral. But I don't know, it seems legit to me so far.
What the?
And also, what's in the back?
So hold on, because no, this other day that the door came open when I was in here. So if the door came open, like,
Check the window.
I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay, y'all.
Check the window. What is that?
I really thought it was some plastic, but y'all, I'm not gonna get close to this. This is real.
Is that a snake skin? It's snake skin, bruh.
Look at this. You can see like, ooh. Oh my God. Look at that.
I don't like snakes. I really do not like snakes. They need to check the window though, because someone maybe could be coming in and out of the window. And then if they're doing that, then they can lock and unlock the door from the inside. And so maybe that's why the door never opens, but it opened like that one time because someone was in there and opened it. Like some windows are barred off or locked. And so if it is, then I'm like 100% stumped that I genuinely don't know what the heck is going on here. But I would like to look at the windows again.
A large pile of children's shoes is found inside, and it's the fact that there are so many of them that freaks out Jasmine. According to her, this may suggest something much more frightening and serious than a paranormal occurrence. However, before calling the police, she notices something in her video that tells her this isn't what she thinks it is, but what she notices doesn't make this any less creepy. In fact, it makes it much more concerning.
So looking back at this video that I took with the property manager guy, right? And I noticed something in that pile of shoes. Those frozen Elsa boots, whatever you want to call it, those boots are my daughter's.
What? Your daughter's boots? I don't understand. Also, yes, I'm sunburned, guys. I went outside for the first time like all year. I get freaking sunburned. There's a reason I stay inside. Ha ha. Funny, funny. I get it. But how her daughter's shoes there? How are any kid's shoes there at all? Because like, how do you steal kids' shoes? How is that possible? Like, when do you ever not have your shoes on? The only time that your shoes are not on is when they're in your own house, put away. It's not like a phone, for example, where you go out with your phone and like, oh, you could leave it somewhere, you could pickpocket somebody. You can't pickpocket shoes. You can't take someone's shoes off without them realizing that. And so for someone to be collecting all of these shoes, they would need to be going into people's houses and taking the shoes out of the houses and leaving. Or they kidnap the children and then take their shoes that way. But since this is her daughter's shoes and her daughter clearly hasn't been kidnapped, or at least hasn't said anything, like maybe she was kidnapped for a day and then never told her mom. But that would be so weird. Why would you not tell your parents you got kidnapped by some weirdo? I'm just like, I don't understand. How is this possible? How is it possible? It's just not adding up. How can you steal so many shoes but you're not kidnapping the kids? I have no idea. And why is there a snake skin in there?
Like, I'm gonna show y'all a picture that me and my daughter took like, I wanna say like 2 months ago.
Bro, that's a great point too. I didn't even think that she could have just been lying and said that and made it up for the story, but there it is. It's right there. Oh my God.
Yo, this is crazy because I really thought she just lost him at school.
As a parent, you gotta be freaking
belong to
out.
my daughter.
Watching this clip, the question is begged, just how exactly did her daughter's shoes end up in this pile? Although Jasmine has no idea, she has a hunch as to what this could all mean. After showing property management the video and learning that no one has occupied the room in years, Jasmine makes a shocking conclusion.
Somebody in this building must be going around here just collecting shoes. And I'm not gonna say collecting, stealing little kids' shoes around here.
But again, how is that possible? How do you steal shoes? There's so many things, you can steal watches, you can steal phones, wallets, so many things. But shoes, first of all, is weird. Like, what are we doing? What is that? That's such a weird thing to steal. But also unbelievably challenging to steal shoes. And whoever's doing it has stolen dozens and dozens of pairs. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed if they're doing it without like kidnapping these kids. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. Because that's the only way. I don't know. How else do you take shoes like that?
At least 2 or 3 different people in this building who have said that their children been missing shoes. So I'm thinking that somebody has access to that room and they're going around stealing shoes and then taking them and putting them in there. They're just putting shoes in the room. Like it just none of this makes sense to me right now. None of it.
As Jasmine states, someone in this building has access to this room and is placing the shoes they steal inside. Now, even though property management has removed all the shoes and plans to change the door lock, they told Jasmine to be on the lookout. So she sets up a trap.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna get to the bottom of this. See these little shoes right here?
Nah.
Put them here as bait, right? On some real cheap shit.
Bro, there's no way. There's no way whoever the suspect is falling for that, right? That's like a mouse falling for the cheese trap. Well, that's a bad example because the mouse normally does fall for the cheese trap, but my point is, I guess it's like for a human to fall for the mouse cheese trap. You gotta be some kind of stupid to fall for the mouse cheese trap. This is like the most blatant and obvious gotcha of all time. But this kind of goes along with my point of like, how do you steal shoes? Because nobody ever just leaves shoes in the middle of the hallway. In my 26 very long and healthy years of living life, yes, my hair's receding, I've never just seen shoes in a hallway before, right? It might, like, I don't know. I'm not getting it.
Shoes, just, little kid shoes or whatever. But what I did was, I got me a plant, right? Little cheap plant too, but look what's inside the plant. Hopefully y'all can see it.
Oh, and little cammy cam.
According to Jasmine, whoever takes these kids' boots and enters the room must be the culprit, and probably the same person who stole her Ring camera. But after 2 nights of recording this hallway, nothing happens. That is, until the 3rd night, when this is captured. Take a look.
Also, if it's a ghost, in a lot of these videos, there's ghosts. Apparently. How can a ghost steal shoes? Okay, wait, can a ghost steal, like, physical objects, though? At first I thought the door opened by itself, but look. Wait, is that the door? Is that the door? Whoa! Who's that? Oh, wait, no, that's not the door because it's that one has a welcome mat. So that's not apartment number 23. I thought the door opened by itself, but look, okay. Who is? Take the shoes. You won't take the shoes. You won't take the shoes. What? What is she looking at? These are always weird to diagnose because there's no real way to know that that's real because there's always, you know, a very thin string that someone could pull and bang. That's how you create that illusion. Magicians, for example, I'm no magician, but magicians are able to make it look like something's floating, for example. Like, you can do a lot of weird, wonky things that make, like, it seem fake, it seems magical, it seems ghostly even. It's so hard for me to believe that that is real. And honestly, I feel bad if these videos are real, and what I just saw there is real. It's like, that is so creepy and strange, and I don't know what's going on if that's real, but I just can't help but believe that it's someone's pulling a string. I'm sorry. That person does look very confused, though. What was that? That was apartment 25, by the way. I just saw it.
Somehow, one of the boots moves on its own. It appears to bounce off the ground before landing perpendicular to the other boot. Even Jasmine's next door neighbor was freaked out by this, but it's what her neighbor recounts that makes this whole encounter even more terrifying. Apparently, she had come out of her apartment after hearing what sounded like a baby crying outside her door. However, she realized that the cries were coming from inside the room where the shoes were found. Realizing this, she walks back in absolute fear when suddenly this happens. Now, whether or not she actually heard a baby crying is hard to tell. There isn't any audio of a wailing baby in this footage.
That's true.
But even if she actually heard something, it wouldn't explain how the boot moved on its own. This is what spooks Jasmine the most, which is why she's thrown them away since then. Now, to this day, not much else is known about this story, and it doesn't help that no further clips have been posted since these. But as always, until further info becomes available, this incident will continue to remain a mystery.
Of all the videos that we've watched, and we've watched a couple of these now, that might be the hardest one for me to have an opinion on as far as like whether or not I think it's real or fake, because I think there's decent arguments for both sides. Either way, it's strange. If it's not a ghost, I do think it's some really strange, creepy, weird person that's collecting children's shoes. If it is a ghost, that's 10 times weirder and even scarier, and I think in both situations I would do everything that I can to move out of that apartment complex. There's no way I'm living there if I have to, if I don't have to.
At around 10 p.m., two sisters return home to pick up something that one of them needs.
Hurry up.
Looks like they're in a rush,
According
though.
to Pink Nemesis, who sent me this video, her little sister needed to pack some clothes for a sleepover that she was running late to. But just moments before coming inside, they noticed something rather unusual on the sidewalk across from their house. Apparently, they had found a shopping cart filled with creepy-looking dolls. Curious, they check out the cart for a quick minute before immediately rushing to the house to get what they came for. But during this footage, which was caught on their doorbell camera, they record something completely unexpected. This is what they caught.
I do think that these like Ring cameras, these doorbell cameras are more legit.
We just need to go open the doors. Shut up. Hurry up.
Okay, why leave the door open though? That is weird to leave the door open.
I don't go to your house and mess with your shit, so don't mess with mine.
What? Nah, no. I can't believe it. Nah, that has to be staged, right? There's no way. Please tell me it's staged. Bro, that is insanely creepy. What? What was she holding? What was she even holding? That was so weird. It seems like too much of a coincidence that they left the door open now. If you ever go into your house, first of all, you close the door. Duh. But especially if you feel like someone's following you or like there's something weird going on outside, you close the door. Wow, that was really creepy though, and it did scare me, I gotta be honest. But a couple other things too. One, that person that did come in after, they walked into like the perfect spot for the camera. You know what I'm saying? I think if it was fake, like what are the chances that they're in the perfect frame, in that perfect position? It's almost like they knew that the camera was there, you know? What was that?
As it seems,
what was that?
The shopping cart they were checking out earlier belonged to this lady. For this reason, she walks in
See
and
how
yells
she's
at
like
them
in the
for
perfect
touching her
spot?
stuff, some of which are pretty creepy.
Bro.
But there's something else in this footage that's just as unsettling, and it happens during the time she's inside. On the hallway floor, a black, shadow-like figure darts across.
What is this person, like a necromancer or something? It can summon in these weird ghost spirits? I mean, they do say that some people are more in touch with the spirit realm or whatever it's called. I think they're called mediums. I'm sure there's other forms of those types of people. So if all of that stuff is real, I guess like maybe it follows this lady around, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I've never heard of a ghost that's just like a black shadow on the ground.
It's hard to make out what this is since it moves quickly, but whatever it might have been, it seems to have no distinct outline. It just seems to be a black mass of something. However, it appears not once, but twice on this property.
Oh, that's what that was.
On the second time it appears,
Wait, hold on.
it's seen running across the front yard.
Wait, what's weird about it too? Hold on, I'm gonna rewind. And it doesn't go all the way across the yard. It doesn't go all the way out that way. It stops like right here.
But twice on this property.
Look, see, it stops right on my mouse. Right there.
It's seen running across the front yard. Now, Pink says that she has seen this figure before outside her home on multiple...
Because, like, if it was a cat, right? If it was a cat or a raccoon, and maybe this camera isn't good enough to pick up, like, very fast-moving things, it would still at least pick it up as it went all the way. It's weird that it disappears, like, in the middle of the yard. I don't understand that.
Occasions at night. She initially thought it was just a black cat scurrying away. Given that she often leaves out food for stray cats, she was thinking this was just one of them.
It can't be.
Seeing this footage, perhaps something else was captured.
I don't know what that is either.
She has yet to share this footage elsewhere, but until then, she has no explanation for what was caught. As with all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Just what exactly was caught on camera?
There's one more thing I need to look at, though. There's one more thing I need to look at, because I think I called it on the first time, but I need to see something from this lady here. And this would give it away if I'm correct. But watch the lady closely. I could be wrong, though.
I don't go to your house and mess with your shit. So don't mess with mine.
She's looking directly at us. That, to me, first of all, is insanely creepy, and I don't like that I froze it on this frame, but clearly, she knows that there's a camera there. Clearly, she knows she's being filmed. I think I should be a detective, bro. That is some insane 10 out of 10 detective work. If this was real, she would not look at the camera. How would she know that there's a camera there, right? Like, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. There's no way that if it was real, she would look at the camera. There's no way. She would have just turned around and walked back outside without looking at it. I believe that that is grounds to declare this one to be fake. Although it is kind of slim, like my only proof is that she looked at the camera as she turned and left. I mean, there is a world where she does do that legitimately, but a little bit fishy to me. And for me to believe these, it needs to be clear cut 100% proof, which admittedly is hard to get. All right, what's this next one?
On May 17th of 2025, a couple from California was on their way to a concert at a Santa Cruz bar known as the Blue Lagoon. They had gone there late at night to see their favorite band perform. It was a fun, crazy night, according to Savvy Cat, who took this photo and posted it on her Instagram page. However, only 3 days later after posting this, Savvy clarifies that the concert wasn't the only highlight of that night. As she mentions, something rather unsettling had occurred while driving back home from the concert.
Ooh,
the footage was recorded on her dash cam.
I don't think I've seen a car one before. This is different.
Now, Savvy writes, my boyfriend and I were heading home from a concert in Santa Cruz on a very dark, curvy downhill drive. The drive in question that she's referring to is known as Highway 17, which is commonly known as Killer 17. This is a route in California where many accidents have occurred, but unlike most incidents, this one doesn't involve an accident, but rather something else. The following is their footage. Watch.
Whoa. Whoa.
Savvy and her boyfriend were shaken up by the sudden appearance of this figure. Even at a distance, before passing it, they couldn't make out anything noticeable. Nothing was seen from afar, yet somehow, someone or something appears just inches away from the passenger's side.
I mean, it looks like just a human. It looks like, so far it just looks like a human was in the middle of the road, which is scary and does warrant that reaction, in my opinion. I would also be like, woo, woo, Yeah, I mean, it's also very hard to edit that. Like, if they did edit it in post-production, that's tough to, like, make that look seamless. But I think that her reaction felt legit to me. I mean, I'm not an actor. Maybe I should get an acting friend and watch these with him to see if he thinks that these people are acting. But another thing is, too, I think that she put her hazard lights on after, or at least, like, a turning signal or something, which to me signals like she's gonna pull over or she's slowing down because she's freaking out. I gotta put my hazards on. That, to me, is legit. That makes it feel good. Also, this didn't get mentioned at all, but sorry to rewind. Did anyone else notice? What is that in the sky? Why is that not being talked about either? I know it's not like the weird ghost person thing that we just saw, but is this weird to anyone else?
In California, where many accidents have occurred.
Hold on, it's coming.
Unlike most
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Incidents.
What is that? Sorry for yelling. I'm just really into this right now. I'm just really invested in this. And I'm just saying, like, is there any sort of type of ghost or spirit that like comes down from the sky and like bang is there? Because look, like, come on, what is that? Shooting star? It's not an airplane. They don't move that fast. What is that?
This one doesn't involve.
That has to be something. It just wasn't mentioned at all.
Sabby and her boyfriend were shaken up by the sudden appearance of this figure. Even at a distance, before passing it, they couldn't make out anything noticeable.
That's true, it's not
Nothing
there.
was seen from afar. Yet somehow, someone or something appears just inches away from the passenger's side.
Ooh, that just gave me the chills.
Now, considering what was captured, one would think that the person or thing they had nearly hit would still be alive and completely unharmed. However, when looking at the footage recorded from the rear dash cam, that doesn't appear to be the case.
Oh, they have a rear cam too. Whoa.
Okay? Someone was just in the middle of the road. Holy shit.
I didn't see. Did you guys see him? I didn't see him.
Nothing is seen. Thinking that the figure would still be there, Sabby and her boyfriend were shocked to see that nothing was seen. Clearly,
maybe it's because it's too dark.
Recorded something standing in the road, but when looking at the rear dash cam, the silhouette isn't there.
I don't like that.
Now, it's worth noting that the couple did see what they thought was a person standing on the road, but after looking at this footage, they're not so—
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I think it could be a person, and I think that he could have not been standing in the light. There is a light post near them, but it's not directly on him, and because it's so dark, there's a chance the camera didn't pick him up on the way out. But let's see, I'm watching this in 0.25 now. I don't think it's that light. I think it's the next one that should be coming up. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, 2.5 speed. If anything pops up at all— I didn't see anything. Oh my god. I actually thought we were gonna find something there. Oh no.
Considering that others who've driven here had had similar experiences on this road, Sabby can't help but think that a ghost was caught on camera. After all, this route has seen many accidents here, which has led many to believe that this mysterious figure is just one of many spirits who've passed away on this highway.
I've heard of that
before. But even more unsettling is the thought that another life could have been taken had Sabby swerved and crashed the vehicle from being jump scared by the figure.
You're okay. Breathe.
Scary, dude. Because he saw it too.
This incident continues to baffle Sabby and her boyfriend. To this day, there has yet to be an explanation for what was caught on camera.
I'm telling you, something in that sky, bro. Something in the sky came down. I'm telling you. Did no one else see that? I mean, obviously, we all saw it now because I pointed it out because I'm the greatest detective ever.
On June 2025, a woman named Meg finally uploads a video that she's kept private for 6 years. She's been holding off on showing this footage to others for good reason. Something about it disturbs her.
Now, at first glance, the video itself doesn't appear to have anything unusual. It's a very short clip that Meg took of her brother, who was passed out on the couch.
Oh, there's like a baby toy doll on the right. I don't know if that's what we're freaking out about. That's what I'm freaking out about, but I don't know if that's what this video's about. That thing is creepy looking.
On the night before his wedding, seeing him like this, she immediately takes out her phone to record him. After all, she's just capturing memories before the day of his big wedding.
I think those are flowers.
To her, this memory would turn into something truly unforgettable for the wrong reason. After looking closely at her video, she saw this.
The time I accidentally caught a ghost on camera at my brother's haunted apartment. Bro, I can't stop looking at that doll thing. What is that? Wait, was something? Ooh, yeah, that's what I just saw this time. What is that? Was there anyone else in the house? Could that just be another person? It was very dark though, like very black. and the light was on. The light is on over there. Like, even if that was a person, what could you possibly have dressed up in to be that dark? I mean, I guess you could dress all black. That does make sense. But who does that with a hood up and everything inside?
Now, what makes this pretty creepy is the fact that no one else was home.
See, that looks like a shadow. That looks like a shadow. I don't even see legs. And with the light on, my point is, like, how would you even get something to look that dark? I don't know. I did make the point earlier of, like, magicians being able to fool people in real time in front of them with illusions and make things look like they're not really what's happening. And so when you take into account that that is a thing, and also this is a video where people can do whatever they want, however they want, to me, I don't know. I feel like that's fakeable. To me, I'm not really sure how, but I think it's fakeable.
Except for Meg's sister-in-law and her cousin, but they both have stated that this wasn't them. They were passed out just like Meg's brother from all the drinks. Now surely, Meg would have had her suspicions if it wasn't for the close-up image of this figure. Nothing about it says it was one of them, but something about it indicates it was anything but a person. A head and a torso can be made out, but no legs can be seen. It just seemingly floats above ground before somehow disappearing quickly. But as if that wasn't creepy enough, someone who saw this video posted a pic of what this figure might have looked like.
Oh, I got the chills.
This rendition is definitely the stuff of nightmares.
Why would someone post that? Why are you doing that? You're just making people like me and probably hundreds, maybe thousands of other people just very uncomfortable. I don't like that you just did that. Not cool. I will say though, to defend these people, the video that was taken of the lady filming her husband or whoever, it felt sincere. I felt like a sincere video, like a funny little Snapchat for my friends. Haha, look at my buddy. I don't know.
But further adding to the creepiness of this clip is the fact that the figure seems to be doing something with its arms. It's the way that it moves that makes this pretty unnerving.
Oh yeah, it's going like that.
Or intruder,
yeah.
Meg can't help but feel that this was something paranormal. But what do you think? Was a ghost caught on camera? Or had something else been captured?
Let me know your thoughts on this one.
It kind of looks like a Grim Reaper, to be honest with you. That one, I think, it's hard for me to believe that one. And for me to believe it, it needs to not be able to be faked, in my opinion. Not saying it's 100% fake, but it's just hard for me to believe that.
Now, the following video comes from a mother who recorded a video of her daughter when something quite concerning was captured.
Oh, not the babies, dude.
According to Mom, this wouldn't be so creepy if it wasn't for the fact that this has happened more than once. Her daughter, who's known as Mabel, tells her that her dad is hiding in her bedroom. But this doesn't make any sense, because according to Mom, her dad had passed away in 2002.
Okay, who is it?
Daddy. Daddy's right
Nah, that's weird. I don't like this.
No, it's you, Daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
That's creepy, bro. That's weird. If I had a 2, 3, 4-year-old, whatever, and I lost my parents, and they told me that they're seeing my parents in their bedroom, nah, it's already freaking me out. I don't like this one. Because I've said it before in previous videos, when I see babies do stuff like this, it's way more believable because you can't teach a kid to act. You can try to, but like, it'll be very obvious. I believe this baby. I believe that this baby actually thinks that it is seeing this woman's father in its room. Whether or not it actually is or not is a different story, but I believe that the baby thinks it at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that this is an act.
See?
Oh.
Your daddy's missing you.
My daddy's missing me?
That's your him.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In you.
Okay, show me.
Whoa, this is weird.
Mama, touchy.
In your closet?
Yes.
A daddy ghost?
Okay, the daddy hiding in the closet. Come on, that's a little weird. Let's hide anywhere else in the room. Very creepy though. Very creepy so far.
Now, as previously mentioned, this isn't the first time this has happened. Just a few weeks before, Mabel tells her mom that she sees a ghost in her closet. But in this instance, she doesn't specify that it's anyone in particular. She just says that it's a ghost.
Just see me.
What sees you? The ghost? What are you talking about?
Come on.
I like this kid.
The dryer scared me.
That is pretty funny. That is another like tell that this is, I think, legit as far as like this happening for real, because clearly the mom is like freaked out about this too, which makes sense to the point where the dryer just scared her as she walked by. I believe it. Nah,
Watching
bro, this
clip
is
and
weird.
comparing it to the most recent occurrence, Mabel's mom is convinced that this anonymous ghost was also her dad. If that's so, then Mabel's granddad has most likely been seeing her on numerous occasions. Now sure, it could very well be that Mabel has a vivid imagination and is therefore seeing who she thinks is her grandpa. After all, she's only 2. But when she says that it's her mother's dad and that he's missing her, well, things get very strange.
My daddy's missing me?
Here's what I'm thinking too, though, is like kids love attention. So if they do something that gets the attention of adults, or adults cheer on, or you know what I'm saying, they are way more inclined to continue doing that thing. Like if you tell a kid that, you know, whatever, great job doing your jumping jacks, Jimmy, they might want to do more jumping jacks. You get my point. So if this little girl very playfully was like, oh, I saw a ghost, and the mom was like, really? Where? Show me, blah, 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 and was very into it, which it seems like she is, I think the kid would be a lot more inclined to continue to just say that they're seeing a ghost to get attention from their parents.
I'm not sure if she was just seeing things. Mabel's mom decides to show her an image of her granddad. Keep in mind, Mabel has never seen her grandfather in person, as he passed away before she was born. But while showing her this picture, she says this.
Yes. Yes? Yes, it looks like that.
Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
Yeah? And Mabel,
Oh, I got
what
the
did your
chills.
ghost do?
No.
What did you say he gave you?
Aww.
Daddy. Daddy.
That's crazy because, again, I don't think a kid like this young can act. And they seem very convinced that that is her grandpa, her mom's dad, or daddy in this case. That's, bruh, that's pretty weird.
Daddy.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Mabel doesn't hesitate, almost as if she's known him for years. She immediately recognizes the face and says that it's her granddad, the same person who's been visiting her. Shocked and confused, Mabel's mom shares the video online and gets many comments saying that her daughter is actually seeing him. While not sure how to feel about this, she continues to talk about this occurrence with others in the hopes of understanding the situation. Just how did Mabel recognize her grandpa without ever meeting him or seeing any pictures of him before? Like most videos, there has yet to be a definitive explanation for this occurrence.
Dude, videos like these, this one probably the most so in particular, low key, it does start to get me to believe like this kind of stuff is real. And I, like just the lifestyle I've lived up until this point has been so like focused and driven in this world. It's gonna sound silly, but it's like I go to school, I play sports, I play video games, I do YouTube, whatever. And I'm always like focused on, I guess, material things and real life things, but I never have even attempted, me personally, I've never attempted to try to get in touch with any sort of spirit. I've never tried to like meditate. I've never tried to, I don't know, do anything to connect to any other world or realm because I never even had the idea or thought that it was possible at all. And low key, this video is kind of making me want to try. It's kind of making me want to meditate and like try to get in touch with something. And if nothing happens, nothing happens, you know? But I think I gotta say I'm convinced that what happened here was legit. Whether or not the daughter is making things up about, I don't know. I think it's legit. I don't know if the daughter necessarily is seeing her grandpa or what exactly she's seeing, but I believe the daughter thinks that she is. I don't know, dude. That's weird. That's crazy. Now, the following video was posted by a mother who's understandably quite disturbed by what she caught on her baby monitor. At around 1 p.m., Kristen placed her daughter inside her playpen while playing her favorite YouTube video. This is something Kristen often does whenever she needs. Why was she not playing the Siren video? No Pixelmon video to go to sleep to? Really? See, that's bad parenting. If you're a good parent, you totally play Siren videos all night long, all day long for your kid. That's where they went wrong.
This is something Kristen often does whenever she needs to do some chores around the house. In this case, she was doing laundry downstairs. But while being away, something happens in her bedroom that she can't explain. While rewatching this footage, she notices that her daughter immediately turns to look at the door before later blowing kisses as if she was seeing someone.
Nah.
Keep in mind, Kristen was still downstairs during this time. This is what she caught.
I would like a better camera, to be honest with you. Decides to... What? What was that? Baby bottle stem? Huh? Decides to pick what up? I don't understand. Oh. Don't tell me that the baby, like, hands it over. Out of nowhere. Nah! Oh! I thought the baby was, like, handing it off to something. Huh? Baby bottle hits play button. Pen. What? Bruh, nah, this is weird. I don't like this.
Kristen's daughter appears to see someone, despite no one else being home. If Kristen was downstairs, then who or what was her daughter seeing? But most importantly, just how exactly did a bottle stem fall inside her playpen? At first, she doesn't notice it, but then she picks it up and chews on it before seconds later, a baby bottle hits the outside of her playpen. Now feeling immensely unsettled, Kristen makes another video giving more context on the situation.
Okay, so this is my daughter's playpen that she was in when the bottle thing happened. So she was standing right here. The stem would have fallen about here. And as you can see, like directly in front of that on the other side is the toy bin where the bottle had landed. It landed about here. There's nothing around that the bottles could have come from, especially because like they landed straight down. So really no explanation.
That's weird. I'm going off on a little bit of a limb here. Something that I just thought of is that since babies' brains aren't developed yet and is still developing, I wonder if they are more susceptible to being able to see these extra dimensional beings, because the more you live, the more you like focus, like kind of like I was saying earlier, you focus and only live in the real world. And so that's what your brain is trained to think. It's what your brain is trained to see. It's what your brain is trained to feel. And a baby doesn't have that yet. A baby doesn't have that experience. So I guess there's a chance that it could be that babies' brains are able to process the information that they're seeing differently. And like my eyes, and probably that of your eyes and brains, like don't even recognize, don't even see the ghosts or spirits or whatever that are around us, because we're so trained to only see the tangible world. That is totally made up, by the way, and completely, I just thought of it right now, but I do wonder, like, if you Google it and look into it, is that a thing? Have people researched that before? Because that does kind of make sense to me.
Seeing this footage raises the question, just how exactly did both objects that were placed far away get launched toward the playpen? Now, it's been a while since this footage was posted, and Kristen has yet to figure this out, but according to her grandmother, this may have been Kristen's mom who passed away a few years ago. According to her, this might have been her letting Kristen know that her daughter was hungry. However, she's not too sure about this theory.
One more thing to kind of back up this video, even though I think the obvious thing to say is like there's someone else in the room that's playing with the baby that you just can't see on camera, but the window light is shining at the playpen. And so if anyone is standing in the room or moving in the room, you'd probably see their shadow moving as well, especially if they're walking around the room and throwing things, and I don't see any shadow.
To this day, this occurrence continues to baffle her. Just who or what had her daughter seen during this footage?
Yeah, dude, that's really, really creepy. But boys, I believe that is the last one. Shout out to Bizarre Bub, by the way, because this channel is awesome. I react to these types of videos from their channel all the time. Make sure to go check them out if you want to watch them for yourself. But if you do want to watch some more of my videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click this one right here.